Hello, uh, good day students. I am Rajendra Shetye, Assistant Professor at Ganpat Parsikar College of Education, Harmal, Goa. Title of today's unit is Primary Structure of Organ and module name is Structure of Dicot Stem. Outline of this module is Tissue System of Dicot Stem, Ground Plane of TS of young dicot stem, enlarged cellular representation of TS of young dicot stem. Learning outcomes. At the end of this module, you all are going to understand arrangement of different tissue system in dicot stem and will understand its anatomical characteristics. Now, when we look at the tissue system of dicot stem, we see that it consists of three different types of tissue system. First one, epidermal tissue system, second, ground tissue system, and third, vascular tissue system. Epidermal tissue system consists of epidermis. Ground tissue system consists of cortex, pericycle, pith, and medullary rays. In cortex, we see distinct hypodermis, middle layers of general cortex, and inner layer of endodermis. When we look at vascular tissue system, we see vascular bundles which are arranged in a very peculiar way. That is, they are arranged in a ring form. This is one of the striking character of the dicot stem. When we look at the ground plane or outline of TS of young dicot stem, here we have taken example of sunflower young stem. The outermost layer, what we see is epidermis. Epidermis is followed by cortex, which consists of outermost layer hypodermis, middle layer general cortex, and innermost layer endodermis. Stele consists of pericycle, vascular bundle, pith, and medullary rays. The type of stele present in dicot stem, we call it as eustele. The reason is pith region is present in the center, and at the periphery there is a ring of vascular bundles. When we look at the enlarged view or cellular representation of the section of dicot stem, we see outermost layer as epidermis. This epidermis is made up of compactly arranged living tubular parenchymatous cells. On its surface, there is presence of a waxy coating of cutin, which is called as cuticle. It prevents loss of water and gives protection against mechanical injury, highlight intensity, pathogens attack, etc. Besides cuticle, on the surface of epidermis, we see presence of multicellular appendages called as trichomes. They are also sometimes referred as multicellular epidermal hairs. So, in dicot stem, we see presence of cuticle and trichomes on the epidermis. Coming to next layer, that is hypodermis, we see that hypodermis is collenchymatous in nature. These cells show angular thickening. Cell wall of these collenchymatous cells consists of cellulose, hemicellulose, and pectic materials. Now, this hypodermis provides mechanical support to growing stem. When we look at the next layer, that is general cortex, this consists of loosely arranged parenchymatous cells. It shows large number of intercellular spaces. Cells are round or oval, living, with distinct nucleus and cytoplasm. Chloroplast may be present in few cells. Now such cells which contain chloroplast, we call them as chlorenchymatous cells or chlorenchyma. Besides this, in general cortex, we see presence of few mucilaginous canals. Main function of general cortex is storage of food. The innermost layer of cortex is endodermis. It consists of barrel-shaped parenchymatous cells. These cells are rich in starch. That's the reason sometimes we refer endodermis as starch sheet. Now on endodermal cells, in their cell wall, we see deposition of a band made up of mainly suberin and sometimes even lignin is present. Especially it is deposited on radial and inner cell wall or transverse cell wall. Now this band is called as Casparian strip. It helps in regulating flow of water in the vascular tissue. That is, it controls movement of water in and out of the vascular tissue. Besides this, it prevents diffusion of air in xylem. Next layer is stele. Now stele, as I told you all, it consists of pericycle, pith, medullary rays. Now the outermost layer of this stele is pericycle. It consists of partly sclerenchymatous and partly parenchymatous tissue. Sclerenchymatous tissue forms crescent-shaped patches outside vascular bundles and referred as bundle cap. It provides mechanical support to the stem. The next layer is the vascular bundle. Now these vascular bundles are arranged in a ring form. Now this is a striking characteristic of a dicot stem. The vascular bundle is conjoined, collateral and open, meaning here xylem and phloem are present side by side and there is presence of cambium in between them. Normally, phloem is present towards the periphery and xylem is present towards the center region. Phloem consists of sieve elements, companion cells and phloem parenchyma. Xylem is endark, in which metaxylem is towards periphery and protoxylem is in the center. It consists of tracheids, vessels, fibers and xylem parenchyma. Cambium shows many layers of meristematic cells. It is referred as intrafascicular cambium because it is present inside the vascular bundle. Next layer is pith. It occupies the center part of stem. It consists of thin-walled, loosely arranged parenchymatous cells. It performs the role of storage of food material. The next layer is medullary rays. We call it sometimes pith rays also. It extends between vascular bundles. Consists of thin-walled, elongated parenchymatous cells and helps in lateral translocation of food, water and other substances. Also sometimes stores food material. To summarize, we see in dicot stem there is presence of epidermis which show presence of epidermal hairs and cuticle. Cortex is distinct, stele is eustele, vascular bundles are arranged in a ring form, they are conjoined, collateral and open, xylem is endark, phloem parenchyma is present, pith and medullary rays are present. These are the references. Thank you.